Hello everyone, welcome back to Omegon 2. Hope you're having a marvellous day today. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hasan Piker, Asmon Gold, Aiden Ross. The Twitch streamers mostly focusing on Hasan. Hasan's a rather interesting character. His perspectives in the political wing sphere, as it were, are trash, but there are a lot of people that still support him because they're stupid. If you're one of them, you're on the right channel. A lot of his criticisms come from a place of being well and truly out of touch with reality. You can be an idealist all you like, and then you can be Hasan, an idealist who refuses to get off his high horse. For this video we need to go back to 2023, where Twitch banned Aiden Ross from their platform. Now he had more than 7 million followers, I believe, on that platform. He was massive, and why they banned him was, well, it was a reason that, well, forced many of us to have to introduce filters for our chat. See, Twitch's policies are rather interesting. They have some where if you say something untoward on Twitter or Facebook, YouTube, and they're all connected to your Twitch in some way, you could be yeeted for that. You can also be yeeted if your Twitch chat say anything inappropriate and it is not properly moderated, which is why Aiden Ross got banned. Now he went on to be hugely successful on Kick. He, I believe, left near the end of the year, in fact, but he was still massive. He had Trump on, he did all these things that really got his name out there, and he was in, I believe, the thank you speech from Trump. His name carries that weight. There are many who believe he should be allowed back onto Twitch because the way he was banned, the reason for it, is nonsense. Many who don't believe it, in fact. That is where we're going to go first.
I think that they should unban Ice if they're going to unban Aiden. I think they should unban Destiny. I think they should unban Sneeko. They should unban Myron from Fresh and Fit.
My view with many of the bans that happened over the years is that many of them were unjustified, and we knew very little to go on to justify the ban anyway, and that's Twitch's problem when it comes to transparency. I do vaguely know some of the reasons why a few of these creators got banned. Ice is well known, but is it justifiable? If Twitch is going to open the floodgate to just one, they're going to have to open the floodgate to all. And for the sake of the platform, it's a good idea, because it then re-injects a level of interest into the platform. It may well then also drive out those competitors, which I don't think will work. I think Kick and Rumble and others are doing really well, but we do have to give Dan Clancy some hope, don't we?
They should unban, let me think, who else? I don't think that they can unban Doc and Slicker. And the reason why is because Doc and Slicker use the website to facilitate something that they could be held. So, like, let's say somebody gets on Twitch and they unban Doc. They're going to use the unbanning of Doc to show that Twitch doesn't care about grooming because they're not applying best practices. So they literally can't unban him.
To be honest, I still hold the position that Doc admitted guilt. He claimed it was nothing more than a gay op. If you're on the internet long enough, you know what that means. To weed out his bad friends. And, of course, expose journalists for poor intent. At the cost of his own career, where he's now on Rumble and YouTube, I think that was a ballsy move, and a really stupid one at that. You could have just, unfriended people. That would have been safer. But he has become the front runner, the pinnacle, the star of the Rumbles, so perhaps it's worked out well for him. I do agree with Asmon, though, you can't bring Doc back to Twitch. Can't be done. Doc would want too much money anyway. Now, because Hasan is well and truly obsessed with the likes of Asmon Gold, the likes of Ethan Klein, the likes of Elon Musk as well, which we won't be covering here. The Elon Musk stuff is a guarantee way of getting my channel shadow banned, which is really irritating. We're going to go to his thoughts on Asmon, and then carry on with Hasan, because Hasan's out of touch, and I think it's worthwhile looking into.
Where Aiden Ross didn't do something worse than Destiny. Literally no observable universe in which Destiny was worse than...
The annoying thing is, Destiny's ban also, like Aiden's, made very little sense. It really didn't make much sense. I'm not going to sit here and defend Destiny too much, because he's a shitty individual, but I'll happily agree that I don't believe Destiny should have been yeeted from Twitch for what he was yeeted for. Many people are going to hold very strong opinions for and against, and that's totally alright, but the level of consistency when it comes to Twitch, and their banning, their suspensions, and then the permabans is nonsensical. 100% nonsensical. So let's hear some words of wisdom, nuggets of gold from Hasan.
I think it's very similar in terms of the toxicity, in terms of the overall harm to like random content creators in general, yes, their operational methods are pretty fucking similar.
Hasan will do whatever he can to justify. Bear in mind here, Aiden was banned for what his chat said. Destiny was banned for what Destiny said. You're now saying, yes, but the toxicity part, the toxicity overall, that goalpost shift though, right? If you can justify bans because you only ever get a 1-day ban at most, chances are you are a preferred golden goose. They were done for wrong thing. One of them was. The other one was done because his chat was wrong think. You are just a think. Spelled with an F, just in case anyone wondered.
It's not incorrect. Yeah. Doxing, swatting, going after content creators, going after people that are in the trust and safety side of things.
The Trust and Safety Council was an absolute joke, and Ferociously Steph deserved everything they got. Everyone, no matter the political side, has the potential to be a terrible person. Turns out, terrible people exist in all political persuasions. All of them. Because there is always going to be some that employ crappy tactics. The left is hardly immune, nor is the right, the centre, and all the other ones that aren't left or right. Let's go with up and down as well. Of course, we can't forget those that vote up and vote down. As opposed to you, who I'm sure spends far too much time swiping left anyway.
Like, Destiny, I would go so far as to say, is like gone above and beyond, even beyond what Aiden Ross has done. Aiden Ross, as far as I know, has not tried to like dox people that work at Twitch directly. Having said that, on the politics front, yes, of course, Aiden Ross has significantly worse statements than even Destiny.
I'm going to be that guy and say significantly worse statements by your standards. The thing that bugs you the most is that Aiden has had a sit-down conversation with Trump, whereas Destiny has had sit-down conversations with people on the right and failed every time in a debate, much like yourself. It's quite funny actually to see how well you two handle the pressure. You think by being louder, more bored, perhaps you drive the point home. Destiny, faster, louder, but both of you fail because you can't handle it when you can't control the conversation. This is where a level of consistency applies. You don't like them because they dislike you. Therefore, you all just say, yes, they should be banned and they should stay banned. It's bad to keep them unbanned or unban them ever. No, don't do that. My view is a level of consistency. All platforms need to be welcoming of all differing perspectives in life. Cultural, societal, religious, political. Any others you want to include? Sure. Whether Dumbledore deserved to die or not. Go with that. Okay? I think it should be allowed on the platform because that creates a healthier ecosystem as opposed to an echo chamber. Now, I said that Hasan was out of touch. Here's proof of it, as opposed to him asserting what he just asserted with no proof, because he does that a lot. He's the arbiter of truth and the authority on all.
Why don't normies like you? Normies love me.
Yes, they do. They love you so much that many of them prop you up by just listening to you in the background. I really wish the normies, as those that love you anyway, would stop watching you, if only to give you the harsh reality of irrelevancy. We know you worry about your numbers, because that was most of last year's discussion about you. You were a bit more paranoid about losing viewership, because of the election especially. Turns out, you're better in opposition anyway. I say better, not as a person, nor as a, contributor, but because you're in opposition, you're seen as more interesting because people like to be bloody-minded and contrarian as fudge. That fudge is meant to be a profanity, but YouTube's sensitive too.
I think your brain is, I hate you, Hasan. What? No, normies don't have... I would say that on the left, I'm able to do something similar to what, like, Brett Cooper does as well. But if you're talking about, like, normies, you have to figure out if you're talking about normies that are extremely online, in which case, no, they don't.
In society, when you've had the opportunity to be on television, I'm sure you've flourished, right until the point you were kicked out of the DNC. When it comes to those online, you have no chance of being liked because it turns out people are snakes. You are seen as a threat or somebody to usurp, but also your perspectives as a leftist are quite extreme by leftist standards, some of which I would argue are highly immoral. Your firm ability to take a stance and commit to it is, while commendable, often what gets you into trouble. It's why you look like on those stages when you're on television like an absolute gigantic, thick-necked, massive-shouldered clown with a tiny head. Was that an ad hom? It felt like one. It wasn't meant to be. It was more of an observation and criticism of the observation. You're welcome.
But if you talk about like normies, like people who have jobs, people who live in the real world and maybe every now and then see clips of mine or YouTube videos of mine, then those normies don't dislike me at all.
Do you, Hasan, know why that is? It's because the vast majority of those who spend more time online have seen enough of you to know exactly what you are. Those who only see clips see what are considered your best bits, the compilations of your best takes, to fit their perspective politically. But the reality is you, like the rest of your kind in the far left leaning of Twitch streamers, are poison. You've all been poison, and you've been poisoned for a long time. I doubt you'll ever suffer a genuine punishment when you should be. You were banned recently for one day, because you wished harm on another person. It's called incitement to violence. I said it that way on purpose because of YouTube's TOS.
There's a lot more of them. They're just not online, and they don't have a lot of motion online. You got caught and backtracked? No, you're misunderstanding my point. I wouldn't consider the unwashed gaming masses, or people who spend every waking moment watching, Asmongold or any number of these different content creators like normies.
Unfortunately for you, Hasan, you don't get to gatekeep or purity test what is or is not a normie. You don't get to do that. But you are deciding to who arbitrarily, because then you get to go with the ones that don't play video games all the time, the ones that have a shower. That level of tolerance and intelligence, the insight we get from somebody who's removed from reality, is the level we expect, quite frankly. It doesn't get much better than that. And by the way, to those listening, hi, sorry. I wanted to include the Elon Musk stuff, because that back and forth with Elon calling him a chicken poop tard. Yeah, I can't use it. I really wanted to, but YouTube, they don't like me when I cover certain people. Musk, Jones, Tates, Doc, all right at the top. Even on this channel, I can't get away with it. Oh, and Bevo. I'm not allowed to cover Bevo. Now, I tried to change this channel's direction earlier this year, and lesson learned. Anyway, as we're finished, I'd love to know what you all think. Do let me know in the comments down below. As a final thing, tomorrow is this channel's 3rd year anniversary. How exciting. I'm going to be hosting a small stream. Hope to see you there. If not, see you next week. Ta-ta, everyone.